Hello, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Conversations. Today, we're going to be speaking about the importance of attention to detail in your business. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Conversations with Nick and Chris. Before we jump into today's topic, Nick, how was your weekend? It's Monday again. Tell us.
The weekend was very good. I was up the coast with some friends.
Yes.
And these friends I've been friends with and best friends with since year 8.
Wow.
It was pretty cool. There's a crew of 4 of us.
Wow.
And their wives and partners. And we've been tight like that since year 8.
That's fantastic.
Pretty awesome. Yeah. It's
pretty cool.
And we like best of friends, which is awesome. So,
yeah, good.
Yeah, so it was good. We went for a birthday party up the coast, just hung out. No kids, so it's all good.
Oh, 0 kids. Awesome.
0 kids. Kids, no go zone.
No, no kids.
No kids, exactly.
Very good. So relaxing weekend.
Yep, absolutely. How about you? You went up to the Northern Territory.
Just up to Cairns, North Queensland. Just came back just yesterday, actually. Lucky enough to spend the last 3 or 4 days up there. Very hot.
Bet you I know the weather report for the next 2 years.
Hot.
Just hot and hotter.
It's actually, we lucked out. We flew out at about 9:30 in the morning. About 10 o'clock, it started raining and hasn't stopped since, we've heard.
Oh, really? Yeah, great. You lucked out.
Kind of lucked out the rain.
Hot with rain, yeah.
Yeah, but look, we had the kids in the weekend, but it was great. Got out and saw some sites. We've got friends that live up there. A good little break before our big event this week. We might as well talk about that as well. We've got our Upper Limits Mastermind on Thursday and Friday of this week, which we're very, very looking forward to, which is good. We're putting the final touches on that now. Speakers are lined up, presentations are lined up and sorted. All the little special details are being organized in the background. And that's what we want to talk about today, attention to detail. So, and the importance of, I guess, in your business as well. Nick, if you want to maybe unwrap the topic here or give us some context around the importance of attention to detail, what is it that you're going to unfold for us today?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. So I'm away with my friends, we're up the coast, and we're in this, still popular area, but not as popular as, one of the other places would be. Like if you go to Terrigal, it's very popular, lots of people.
Yeah.
This place was sort of, 2 suburbs this way. Bit of an up-and-coming place, but there's been some kind of, restaurants there that have been there for a while. So a friend of mine books an Italian, it's like a pizza and pasta place, that vibe. And they went out the night before to a night, kind of more of, fine dining type restaurant. We met another one of our friends there. So we walk in and it's like chaos, right, at this little Italian place. And it already looks kind of like it's a bit tired, Sure. And the guy's like a Napolitana pizza specialist, the ovens, right, and all of that stuff. And the mate that we met up there, another one of our mates, is very high up on the Central Coast. He's a, super, super successful business owner, knows everybody because everyone's sort of connected. Anyway, so we walk in, waiters like 30 minutes before they take the first order, not even for drinks.
Wow.
And they put us in a place, and after about 5 minutes of sitting there, I'm like, man, I thought I was the one kind of smelling it. And it smelled a bit like, rubbishy, and like there's a bin close, and a few of the girls there, they're all dressed up and stuff, and they kind of, kind of felt it as well. And I'm like, oh, maybe there's a bin. And on the other side of the wall, so we're sitting here, there's the wall.
Yes.
And it's kind of got little holes in the wall. On the other side of it's all the rubbish bins.
Oh.
I'm like, you don't sort of sit 10 people there that are about to spend some money with you. Anyway, waitress doesn't say nothing. Comes back, forgets 2 drinks. And she's like flustered, and with a bit of attitude. Cut long story short, we order. It takes another 40 minutes for the food to come out, right? And they're not packed. They're packed, but they're not that packed. They forget 2 of the items, bring out the wrong one.
Yep.
Does take another drink order. My mate knows the chef, so he gets up. This is kind of the dude that's a wealthy business owner, goes there, hey, can we get someone to order drinks? Bring the drink. One of them's like the wrong drink, whatever. Goes back, waiting for the food, go back, and the waitress goes, oh, how did you like the potato pizza or whatever? And it's one that my mate hasn't tried before, and I like potato pizza, like Italian sausage. And I go, it actually didn't even come out. She goes, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. I go, and those two other things didn't come out, and that didn't. Oh, okay, cool, right? And so cut a long story short, the food's average. It's completely lackluster. The positioning table was a bit smelly. It's all of that stuff. And to me, there's 8 of us plus my mate and his wife that lives up there. So there's 10 of us. All these guys are pretty well off, and we're all cool. And the bill came to like 500 or something. But it was, almost a little bit resentful that you even have to pay the bill. Like it was at that level quality. Where the next day we go out to this place for lunch. It's Mount White. The food was absolutely outstanding.
Right.
The service was absolutely outstanding. The environment of the facility was overlooking like a little lake and was absolutely outstanding.
Right.
And, the bill was $800, $780 or whatever.
Sure.
So, it was more money, but we were glad left a $50 tip, all of that type of stuff. Now, why do I kind of say that? Because some businesses today, unfortunately, keep on getting away with this lackluster non-attention to detail, right? So then at night when I get home, I'm into Formula One, and on Netflix, there's the Formula One series of, they race in 2021, and then Netflix does the Formula One behind-the-scenes story of all the racing teams.
Right. Okay.
And it's really good. It's addictive. It's like season 4. And I was supposed to only watch 2 and end up watching 6 episodes or something, right? Because you can't get away from it. And it's last season, but it's cool just to see it. And, you look at that and everything is attention to detail. And there's one scene where the guy's name's Toto, the German manager for the for the Mercedes-Benz team, right, which is Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, going for 8, I think he won again last year, 8-time world champion, is ordering food like in the morning and going, I want, pumpernickel toast with, this on it, bacon needs to be crispy like this, egg like the juice, I want it to, right? And it kind of sounds like there's a lot of ordering there, and the lady's like, yep, cool, goes away, brings it perfectly. Because why? First of all, he's the manager of the top team in the world for the last 7 years.
Yep.
So he's going to demand some level of, and he's got every right to be able to order that because the work that he has to put in or whatever, it doesn't have to be, the chef, oh no, we only got fucking, toast with eggs or whatever. This is what he wants. This is what he gets, right? You're at that level. You're Formula One, right?
Sure.
They're hopping on jets to fly between places, the bags come off the cars at exactly the same time. The pit stop is down to 1.6 seconds. Car comes in, lifts up off the ground, 4 wheels off, 4 wheels on, back on the ground. So that's 1, 2, and the car takes off again. Like everything's perfection. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was one where the car came in and one of the wheels couldn't come off. They just retired the car. And he was leading. They're like, something happened with the thing, and it was like 10 seconds. And the manager goes, the longest pit stop ever recorded in history. Like he's like that, to be because now they've got it down to 1.2 seconds. 1.6 to 2 seconds. And what do I mean by that? I mean, with your business, if you keep on not having this attention to detail because you're too busy, you haven't trained the staff, there's all of these kind of, key areas that needs to, kind of be ready for you as a business to be able to, really look at kind of, what's going on like within your business. Sooner or later, the populace is going to tell you something, or your customer's going to tell you something.
Your customers will go elsewhere for sure.
Formula One, the car doesn't even finish because the driver keeps smashing it. The sponsors aren't going to be happy.
Yeah.
This place there, we'd never go back to that Italian place ever again. That's done. Because it was just really poor with poor attitudes. Yeah. Just a whole restaurant, like it's done. But the place that they went on the Friday, They're like, oh, we loved it. It was awesome. They couldn't stop raving about it. I wasn't there, but they said it was just awesome, you know. And then the one that we went to yesterday, it's definitely a place that I'd love to go and just, whether it's me and Rose or the kids, you know, just had that good feel to it. And I'm
Sure.
happy to travel an hour in the car to go to it, you know, like, so once again, you know, you've got to go, well, how much attention to detail are we really adding to the business? And it's the little things, you know, the rubbish bin shouldn't be located right next to where the table is with holes in the wall of it. They should have moved that outside, built something around it, you know, because, and even the waitress, oh yeah, sometimes you get that smell. It's like, well, have you got that smell? So we literally picked ourselves up and moved over 2 tables.
Right.
Like, and she was almost a bit frustrated by it, you know,
Yeah,
like
sure.
it's that stuff.
Mm.
If you knew, and there was heaps of other places that we could have sat, she could have gone, hey, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to sit them there. Let's do something there, because it
Yeah.
wasn't that packed, you know. And you
Yeah.
know, you've been in hospitality, man.
I have.
So
Right. So
there's an expectation there, right?
yeah, I think it comes down to standards. At the end of the day, I speak to a lot of clients about standards and the
Yeah,
difference between, you know, a Jetstar flight and a Virgin flight. Basically, standards. They still sell the same thing. They
Yeah,
still fly to the same places. But ultimately, they, you know, they have a different set of standards.
yeah,
And on a Virgin flight, people like flying on Virgin because they get the snack, the seats a bit comfier, and they get better service. You
yeah.
get looked after. There's an element of care there. And people might say, yeah, well, that's more expensive. That's fine. But
We
it
were
comes,
$50 tip, and we were happy to
that's
pay
right. Yeah. People are happy to
32,
pay a little bit more.
$35 for mains. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. To
It
fly
was.
on a Virgin flight because the
Well, it was an
standard is better.
occasion too. It's not like I've just walked in, I'll have a pizza and what. Like it was just, you know, it's an occasion that they booked. And my mate knows the owner. He had to
Right.
get up 3 times. Hey, could we get some drinks? Hey, could you, you know, hey, you
Yeah.
know that pasta, dude, that wasn't, you know, like you forgot that. And
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
I see. So how do we go from being busy in our businesses? Because I think, like you said, attention to detail comes down to the little things, but sometimes the little things get overlooked because we're caught in this, whether it's a race or we're traveling too fast or, you know, we're trying to manage multiple different things.
Yeah, correct.
What's the shift here? What do we need to consider in relation to going, okay, how do we pull up the handbrake maybe and overview the attention to detail to the small things in our business?
Yeah, a great question. I've sort of broken down the, you know, 5 key areas that I think need to be done. Number one, I think it's important to be aware.
Right.
You know, as a business owner or as your team, you know, for us, even though, you know, we don't have clients walking into you, we're always wearing the upcoat shirt.
Yes.
Right? You wear it, I wear it, the team wears it. Every time that we hop on a coaching session, you know, the upcoat shirt is on. If we have a meeting between us, there's an upcoat shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm going out to public, I'm going to make sure I have that if I'm going to go meet a client, right?
Yeah.
And they're little levels of awareness. I think it's is really, really critical. So in your business, first of all, how much time are you spending? Because I don't think that these people are spending any time on awareness. Oh, we're flat out, we're busy, that's how it is. And you can tell the trainer stuff wasn't trained well. You know, the uniforms are a bit tatty. You know, like, you know, things are looking tight around the place. I guarantee if I looked, I'd probably go cleanliness wasn't that amazing. You know, if they're sitting next to the rubbish bin, there's no level of awareness, you know. So I think awareness is really critical. And you need to train your staff to be aware. You know, all of you guys are aware the way that we write the notes, what we do, how we send that to them.
Yep.
The awareness of somebody makes a call, you call them back. The awareness of somebody emails them, you email them back. You know, like you said, we've got one of our major events on this week. We've looked after every detail from the lanyard to, you know, what is going to go on the table, to the bags, to the lighting, to the ambience in the room, to the little snacks that we get, to the food, to the after party, to all of those things, to the giveaways, to the trophies. It's a lot of work, right? Because you could have that, or you could just go, hey, you show up, mate. No, we don't have any pens. You figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, we pride ourselves on that, and we run really good events because it's an experience, right? I think attention to detail is about the client experience, regardless of what it is. You know, if you're a builder and somebody needs to ring you 15 times for you to get back to them, you know what I mean? Like what type of business do you really have? If you go to see a client and you walk in with mud all over your boots, right into their home. Well, that to me just sounds like there's no awareness.
Yep.
The experience, once again, doesn't feel good for somebody. And
Mm,
by the
mm,
way, it's the little things that people get the shits with. We
mm.
ordered a pizza that was, the potato pizza. She asked us twice, said, okay, you never had it before? Yeah, cool. My mate's made a joke, oh, he's really high maintenance. And she goes, is there anything else you possibly want? This sarcastic. But I'm cool with that. Maybe she's having a bit of fun with me or whatever, right? My mate hasn't had it. He's very well known in the community, right? And all of that stuff. And then, oh, nothing. Oh, what do you mean you didn't even get it? It's like, you weren't even aware of what they're delivering.
Yeah.
It's that stuff. Oh, the ice machine's not working. I'm like, all right.
So it's almost like an awareness of how your customers view what's happening in your business.
What's their experience?
Yeah.
How can you be aware about the customer experience? It's kind of what it's about. And you know this. I mean, you would share that thing with that sort of thing that you spoke to him about with when you had,
when I worked in hospitality, when I ran my own business, we, part of our
one around the menu, around the bill, that one and all those little things. Right?
Oh yeah, we would always, part of our ethos, I guess, or the reason why, or our purpose at Finders Keepers was creating the ultimate hospitality experience. So food and drink were just a part of that experience. They were kind of byproducts of a great experience. So we really focused on a higher level of care and attention to detail with everyone that we served. And it would, like you just mentioned, it's all the little things, like we'd just write notes to people on their bill and fold that up and give it to them to say, thank you so much. You've made our night. Hope we've made yours. Just little things like this that you don't get that at other restaurants. Part of our sales process, when people used to sit down, was we'd spend 60 seconds talking to the customer about them. It wasn't about the standard script. Hi, can I take your order? Yes, I'll process that. It was more about, hey, how are you? And people were taken back. The non-regulars were taken back to go, oh, what do you mean you want to find out about more? I want to find out about your day. Tell me about it. How was it? Was it shitty? Was it great? Are you celebrating something? Is it your brother's birthday tonight? Tell us. We wanted to find out more about them so we could give them a better experience. And unfortunately, you don't see that a lot in restaurants. Maybe not good restaurants, but it was the little details and that's why people came back, because they really got looked after extremely well. And any of those small details where, can we please provide me with a blanket? Can you turn that speaker down? Can we move to another table? It was always yes, no problem. Because we wanted to make sure that we cared for them, but they would also leave with a long lasting impression of how well they were looked after. That was really big for us. So that's a point of difference that we used to have in our business. So awareness is definitely key. I think that's a huge number one point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have awareness, or do you have awareness from your customer's perspective? What do they see when I guess conversations or connection with your business? What's the second point, Nick?
Yeah, number two, I think that's very, very important is preparation. I think a lot of businesses, even though they explain that they want to have all of this level of awareness and a whole bunch of other stuff and blah, 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 don't do any preparation whatsoever with it. They're not in the game to, they don't have a formula on then what to do. If you want to really have attention to detail, you need to be prepared. You look at like watching the Formula One series, everything is prepared. Everything. It's amazing. Like these guys are the best at processes.
Yeah.
The car, what time they get there, the drivers, the warm up, the pit crew warming up.
Yes.
These guys are all stretching and stuff and all they do is zip, 2 seconds. But you can imagine if you go, I hurt my back or whatever, and we can't go in, and it's a guy drops the gun or whatever. It's the difference. I'm telling you, the other one was they just couldn't get the wheel off. That's it, retire the car, because 10 seconds went past, 15 seconds. He goes, you hear it, just retire the car. The driver's still in the car, and he was angry. They lost a race because of that. They could have won. He was in pole position. It's. I think being prepared is critical. So how have you spoken to your staff around, all right, we're aware what we're doing now, but now it's time for us to prepare to do
yes.
I think that's important. What do we need to have in our client experience? Do you need to prepare emails? to maybe a video? Do you need to prepare, the environment? Do you need to prepare the quote better? Do you need to prepare the, when you go and present to somebody? Do you need to prepare, take stuff with you to show them? Do you, or depending on what your business is, what do you need to prepare for? I think
or even if you're in a one-to-one scenario where you have maybe a sales presentation or something, are you prepared in terms of the scripting or the objections? Or
does it look like it's all over the place? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. Well, yeah, exactly. As a salesperson, do you need to prepare? I was just talking to a client just earlier. They've got a retail outlet, and I said, here's what we need to do. All the sale items, you need to mark them so we understand that it's that. Number one. Number two, every item that you're going to be on sale, if you take it off the rack, let's take a photo of it. Well, why would we do that? I'm like, well, we can advertise it on social media as if in the shop. Oh, okay, cool. I said, and is it in the system that shows us what it owes us, and then plus the 10%, or can you tag it with depending on how much you want to be able to do it back? I said, you need to be prepared for a sale. Oh, we're going to do one in 3 days. I'm like, no, we're going to do one in 2 weeks. Oh, why? I'm like, well, we need to advertise.
Yep.
How about a run? I'm like, yeah, we need to get set up, advertise, be ready, make it an event, bring things. I said, if you really want to sell stuff, you're cool. Right now, you've got all of this stock and you don't know what the 90-day stock is on the rack.
So again, being prepared.
Prepared. Ready. I think it's important.
Good. Step 3.
Step 3, I think, is training.
Uh-huh.
The difference between the meal that I had on the Sunday at this place and the meal that I had on the Saturday night were light years.
Yeah.
The staff wasn't trained well. They weren't aware. They didn't think about stuff. They were sort of semi-rushed. They felt like they didn't want to be there. And on the Sunday, they were really nice, spoke to us about the menu, asked them a question, they could answer it, recommended some dishes, recommended some, wine to go with it. All of those little things where the pizza and pasta place could have done that. Hey, we've got some really cool wines that goes with this. I love this prosciutto pizza with this red, or, it doesn't take that long. You don't need to be high level for that. You'd not expect that from someone like Domino's, because they're just fast, hammer it. It's better you eat the cardboard than the pizza.
You're a number.
But it's driven for $1. But you can imagine if they just added something small to it.
Yes.
For you to be able to recommend something, or for them to be able to recommend something that goes with it. You know what I mean? But it's just a totally different model. And if your business is like that, I'm cool. But, if your business is in a level of service, or it's a level of, sales, that you're building something, being a tech on something, whatever it is, the training is really important. How many times are you training your staff to be able to look at it? We talk about this all the time. As a client going, well, the note's up to speed, is there things happening? And yourself, if you're away or something like that, or I'm away, we discuss it. Was the client all cool? Yeah, cool, no problem. I'm up to speed with them. If they need me, my phone's on. Even if I'm on holidays, it's cool. If I'm flying, just let them know, and then I'll get onto it. Emails there. The training part is standards, of training, I think, are important. And most businesses don't do any of that at all. There's no training. They just get you on. You got to wait. Can you take notes on a book and, then serve? There's nothing worse when the food, they don't even know where to put it. Nothing worse. It's shit. I'm like, you draw a little table, put 1 through to 5 of the people that are sitting.
Yeah, seating plan. Yeah, that's right.
Seating plan. Like, it's not that difficult. It feels good when somebody goes, oh, yes, you wanted the chicken. Instead, oh, who's getting the chicken?
Yeah, that's right.
It's
like, just knowing the menu inside out, I always find, coming from hospitality, I almost find it ignorant not knowing what's on the menu. You're selling the menu and you don't know what's on it.
And then they're expecting a tip, or, the venue, and I get it. There's 100 reasons why. But, in Formula One, you reckon everybody knows their positions?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You know how many times they train with the car coming in to take the wheels off and put it on? You see Red Bull are the best at it. I reckon it's got to be 500 times a week. And all they go, zip, 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 off.
Done.
Zip, 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 off.
Yeah.
Zip, zip, that's all. Verb, off.
I think the quality of the...
It was cool. There was a 10-second penalty that Mercedes-Benz got. So basically, he pulls in, right, like this, and the guys are ready, but they can't touch the car for 10 seconds. 10 seconds feels like it's forever, right? And the guy with the paddle up the front,
they're like,
basically, he's the guy that's hold, the hold. As soon as he turns the paddle, all the guys are ready like this. It was funny. It was like they were frozen. Tires ready, the guy with the guns ready. As soon as they go, boom, you go, pop, pop, boom, the car's out.
yeah, wow.
And then he wins the race. This is why Hamilton and the team is attention to detail.
Very
I
much.
get it. I'm not talking that your business needs to be at that level of detail, but if you want to push the boundaries, it's that level of detail.
Yeah, training's so important. So I reckon
Training's
one of the
very
biggest
important.
Achilles heels of so many businesses. I think the quality of the experience is built upon the quality of the training.
I think so. I think then it's deployment and testing.
Got it.
You got to test with this stuff.
Okay.
Did I take the right order? Did I get that right? Did I come around to see if they wanted some more drinks? Is there a routine there? For your business, are you following up the customer with progress? Are you, connecting with them at the right level? Is there that personal experience that you're connecting together? Have you sent out the right information? Are you making sure that after you've done the job, there's some level of, referral or review? These are all attention to details. No, maybe we don't have.
Or even re-engagement at some level. Send them a thanks. Don't have to ask them to buy anything else. Just send them an email or a letter.
I love
or something.
that.
Say,
thanks for dining with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for allowing us to build your dream home. That was $850,000 that you spent. Not $85, but $850,000. Those things are important, aren't they? Because it's the little things that you go, man, wasn't that a cool little something from them? Wasn't that a cool follow-up? Well, they didn't need anything from me. They just asked, or they just sent something,
Yeah. Okay, cool. So deployment and testing, super important. Test out the processes or procedures that you've put in place in regards to those small little details. What's the last point?
And then finally, I believe it's feedback, right? Your customer ultimately will give you all the feedback that you want if you really listen to them.
Yep.
It sort of starts with awareness and listening, and it sort of finishes with awareness and listening.
Yep.
If people are happy, if their tips are going up, if they're referring more people to you, if they're in our case, this event has had the most people ever.
This will be the biggest mastermind we've ever had.
Yeah, and that tells us that our clients are really happy and they're willing to spend their money, time, and energy coming to an event, even though, we pay for everything, but it's still, they need to back home and get themselves there and take 2 days off. 2 days off.
2 days off. Yeah, that's right.
Flights. And, once again, it shows you that it's important, for us to be able to, look at that and go, okay, cool. That's some bloody feedback, isn't it? Where most people aren't that. Now, let me show you the opposite to this. You're not aware. There's zero preparation. There's zero training. There's no, deployment of anything. There's no testing, and there's no feedback. So, when you're doing or not doing any of those things, and that's kind of where you're at, no wonder there's no attention to detail. Could you imagine Formula One? Yeah, whatever, whatever tire that you want to go with, go for it. You can drive the car wherever you want to drive it. You can do it. Could you imagine? It'd be chaos, right? Part
of it too is acknowledgement of feedback. Because if you did the first 4 things or didn't do the first 4 things and your feedback's not good, surely acknowledgement of the feedback to go, something's not right here. I need to improve what we're doing. I think that's the most powerful part versus, if you're getting constantly negative reviews, don't look at it from a customer's perspective to go, another grumpy customer. Look at it to go, I'm doing something wrong here.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to fix this up.
And by the way, some people, doesn't matter what you're going to do for them, they're just not going to be appreciative.
It's
So
not your right
you
type
get
of
all
customer.
the attention to detail
Yeah.
isn't appreciative. But the truth of the matter is that's not the ideal customer that you're trying to go for anyway. So when you really think about it, you go, okay, if there's a checklist of all the attention to detail, that we've done, we've sort of done the right thing. We've added all of this. We generally have outstanding reviews with outstanding feedback, with outstanding all of these things. And you get one or two that aren't there. Well, all right, I can live with that, because you're always going to get it. That's called business. Now, not everybody's got to love me. And I'm okay with that. Like if we know that we've done that, I think it's important. And I'm just going to add one more part to this. What's your mantra? And what I mean by mantra is, for us, it's over-delivered to the over-exaggerated expectation of our clientele, right? And that, to me, is already attention to detail. Because if you think, how can I over-deliver to the over-exaggerated expectation of our client? That already tells me that we're ready for attention to detail anyway. So with you in your building business or, your, I don't know, excavation business or whatever it may be, where's that level of attention to detail, and what's the underlying mantra with it? So, we make sure that that's kind of standard issue for anybody that comes in versus don't do any of it. And then wonder why your competitors beating you, even if they're a few % better than what you are. And they can be dearer than what you are. We weren't worried about spending the money. $200 is very standard for a couple today, $100 each, with alcohol. And I'm not a big drinker, but my mates are drinking. What am I going to say? Oh, no, dude, I only had Coke. And, you guys, I'm not paying. Of course we don't. Because sometimes I'll eat something whatever. We're not even aware at that level, So I think that's very important. So that's why I think attention to detail makes all the bloody difference. It really does. Yeah. It's the little things in life that make all the difference.
And I'm sure, if we take it back to your restaurant example, if you're listening to this or watching this right now, there's bound to be an experience in your life where you've had let's call it a not so good experience at a restaurant, and then you've had a great experience at another restaurant. The likelihood is you won't purchase from the one you didn't like, and you will purchase from the one or repeat purchase from the one that you did like. So like from a common sense level, the attention to detail, the reasons why the good restaurant was good in your eyes or great and you enjoyed it is the reason why you'll repurchase. Well, if you aren't spending time on looking at and having that awareness around attention to detail in your business, you could potentially be losing the customers you're serving today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because when you really think about that, right, then you've got a, interesting opportunity from the perspective of saying, well, like it doesn't take long for somebody also to go, well, these guys aren't that cool. I'll go somewhere else. I mean, most people, where it comes to tradespeople, go, I wonder if he's going to show up. That's the standard thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Particularly if you're showing up for a quote.
I wonder if they show up. Number two, I wonder if they're going to get the job done on time. Number three, I'm wondering, if they're going to do a good job.
Yes.
Like that's pretty crazy when you think about it, that is the common outlook on tradespeople. And to me, that doesn't, I wonder how awesome it's going to be when they come. That person's right on time all the time. Man, their work is outstanding. I love it how they've treated me, whether I went forward or I didn't, or the whole aftercare service. My mate's got a Ram, right? He just bought a Ram and he took it in for the 1,000-kilometer service. Now, the Ram's 130 Gs. The 1,000-kilometer service, I think they just opened the bonnet, they go, the engine's still there.
Yeah, it's not dusty.
It's not dusty. That's about it, right? They tell you they adjust it, but they don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, he takes it in and he has to travel, and the lady or the service department gives him a little Hyundai or an MG, little 4-door thing.
Something. Yeah.
And he goes to it the exact way to the lady. He goes, "You're fucking kidding me, aren't you?" She goes, "You know what? I spoke to my boss before you came to pick it up to go, we can't give him that car." The guy comes out of a Ram, 130 grand, bought it 3 weeks ago,
Mm.
4 weeks ago, travelled to you, and as a dealer, they're giving him that.
Wow.
At least a 4-wheel drive or another ute or something, because anyone that buys a Ram needs it for a particular reason, whatever,
Sure.
And it really is. It's like, she goes, so he goes, you know what? How long is it going to take? She goes, oh, probably 2 hours. He goes, you know what? Keep the car. I'll bring I've got my laptop here and the thing, and I've got work to do. He goes, I'll just do my invoicing and stuff, and I'll sit here. He's one of our other mates. His brother buys, I don't know, Porsche or Bentley or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, and the aftercare service, bring it in. He goes, the lounge area looked like it was that off a hotel.
Wow.
Can we get you something to eat? Can we have a drink? Would you like a drink? Would you like a coffee?
Yeah.
Take your time. If you need to go somewhere, we've got one of the other, courtesy cars. It's like a Merc or whatever, That's the difference.
Right.
He doesn't mind that he knows he's paying 30% extra for that service than his local mechanic.
Yep.
But it's the difference, right? Like you said.
It's the standard.
And these are interesting. And that's why I think today, if you really want to compete, attention to detail is ultra critical. So.
Great. I think that's the main point from today as well. If you really wanted to compete in your space, whatever it is, whatever industry it is, you really need to start looking at those small details. What is your attention to detail?
Down to all of that stuff.
Yeah. What is your attention to detail in your business? How much effort are you putting into this? To take the competitive advantage of your competition.
Correct.
Thanks so much for the wise words of wisdom again, Nick. Hopefully this has got you thinking about this if you're listening or watching this, and really starting to put even some initial steps in place to improve the way that customers are served in your business and what your attention to detail is like. Any final words, Nick, to sign off?
Yeah, look, I think everybody's busy. Everybody's got something on. Everybody's got, there's all of these things, you know what I mean? Like everybody's got all of that. But I just think about it like this. If all you did for the next month is just be aware, just see what's going on. Just think about, if all you did is just that, man, let me tell you, it's going to be a better business for you, because at least you'll become aware of, what's going on within your business. Because I guarantee you, this pizza place that we went to, they weren't even aware that that's happening. They weren't even aware that the order didn't even come out.
Yeah, right.
The orders didn't come out. They weren't even aware that we're waiting for 40 minutes for the first drink.
That'll be the exercise for all of you listening. Let's be aware for the next 30 days. Or if you want to take more action, please do. Hopefully you can grow a stronger business as a result. If you have any questions about this, would like some more help around attention to detail in your business, reach out to us at askitupcoach.com.au. Thank you so much once again, Nick.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
And we'll see you all and speak to you all again on the next episode of Coaching Conversations very soon. Bye now.
Bye for now.